Now for the NDTV Toyota campaign, Keep the Hills Alive, Radhika Iyer reports from the Nilgiris.
We have reached the end of our campaign, NDTV Toyota's Keep the Hills Alive. Here is a special report we'd like to leave you with about enlightenment, about Nilgiris Biodiversity Reserve, one of the 8 top hotspots for biodiversity in the world. The Nilgiris, which of course is part of the Western Ghats, a confluence of both the Eastern Ghats and the Western Ghats, is a rich treasure in India's belly, waiting to be explored, with a huge variety of mammals, birds and of course other species that are available in these forest range. Where we're coming to you now is from the very unique Shola grassland, very unique only to this very region on the Western Ghats, which is home to more than 70% of homeopathic medicines that are available in India. This is a special report on what the Nilgiris Biodiversity Reserve does for you and for me. The grand, the green, the unique and the most useful Shola forests in Tamil Nadu, making way for tea gardens to occupy the hills, its home for the last hundreds of years. Tea plantation in the Nilgiris may be a boost to the local economy like tourism, but its impact being felt now by the region. The Blue Mountains, as the Nilgiris range on the Western Ghats is famously called, has lost more than 70% of its Shola forests, a type of forest unique only to this region. Its main USP, that the hills can absorb huge amount of water to gradually release the water through the year for the people living around it. A rich treasure, these forests are among the top 8 biodiversity hotspots in the world. And why not? The temperate forests have more than 5,000 varieties of plants, making the hills a life support system for South India. Shola, a term used in Tamil language, which is also borrowed into English now to call it Shola forests, unique only to Nilgiris, is what you're watching now. A huge carpet of green grassland. Ooty, Kunnur, Kotagiri, these are hill stations which once looked just like this, as beautiful. Of course, now, minus the mindless construction and the huge level of plantation of tea, eucalyptus, which has taken over the state, the hill station and its economy. The Nilgiris is home to over 5 important rivers, but the Western Ghats per se, which stretches from Maharashtra to Kanyakumari, has over 40% of water source for India. These are not just wild yellow flowers. The gorse, as this plant is referred to, helps identify blood groups in humans. It is the detective of the Nilgiris. The seeds of the plant produce a substance to help forensic experts identify DNA of criminals, thus solving many cases. The wintergreen oil from these plants growing in the Shola forests of the Nilgiris is the only natural cure for symptoms of arthritis. Most pharmaceutical majors depend on the science of this plant to make pain relievers.
This, the homeopathic origin was German. This German climate and Nilgiri climate is more or less equal. That's the reason most of the plants, what is growing in India, more than 70 plant species are growing only this Nilgiri district. The other species, what is growing in the outside the country, that we can introduce and cultivate here. And we can give to the public in the lesser cost. What we are importing from the other countries, we can introduce. That is the reason the government of India has established here homeopathic medicinal plants cultivation at. This is the only one in India.
A recent forest survey reveals that nearly 8 square kilometers of forest cover is lost every 2 years in the Nilgiris. More than 50,000 tons of pesticide is used every year for plantation by the locals, which loosens the soil, causing landslides. In the event of an earthquake in the high seismic zone, experts fear further loss to forests could mean cities like Ooty and Kunnur could come down like a pack of cards. From the Shola forests of the Nilgiris, Radhika Iyer with Nazir Sheikh for NDTV. what would we do without hills and forests for water and food? A wise man once said it's possible to satisfy every need, but human greed is something one can't satisfy. For generations to come, forests and hills have been protecting us. It's time we return the favor. You write to us and what you thought of our special campaign. You can write to hills@ndtv.com. Thank you for watching.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.